Okay, hello everybody. Great to see so many of you here. We'll start in just a few moments. Thank Okay, so I can see that quite a few have joined the stream already, so I think we are great to kick things off. First of all, hello everyone, and welcome to another audio live on Binance Square. It's time for another CEO Connect. Time is really flying by. So for those that are unfamiliar, my name is Jessica. It's great to have you all with us here today, especially as we approach Binance's 8th anniversary next month. And joining me today is the person leading up to that and the next chapter. We have Richard joining us on the stream. So, Richard, thanks for joining today. How are you?
I'm good, Jessica. Thanks, everyone. Thanks to all the Binance for joining us today.
Yes, thank you. And Richard, thank you for taking time out of a very busy schedule to talk to us all. We really appreciate it. And we have had a huge month here at Binance. So before we do open up to audience questions, which will come, and it's a fantastic opportunity, we're going to kick things off with a quick rundown of some of the major highlights that we have seen in the past month, starting with market performance. So Richard, starting things off, June 2025, we did see Binance captured 41.14% of the global spot market share, which is our highest in the past 12 months, also handling 45.6% of all BTC spot trades, highest since July 2024. So some pretty big numbers there, but I'm keen to ask you, CEO of Binance, what do these figures suggest about Binance's position in the market? And what are we seeing now when it comes to returning platforms that traders view as reliable and resilient? What's your take?
Well, first of all, a very huge thank you to all the Binance, to our users around the world that make this possible, right? All these figures are only possible because you continue to support us and place your trust in us. We are now approaching close to 280 million registered users globally. And this is something that, while we're very proud of, we don't take things lightly, right? It's a real honor to be serving so many of our users out there that choose Binance as their go-to platform. So, and it motivates us, each and every us at Binance, every day to keep improving, to make sure our users are served right. So as you can see, our market share continues to grow. It's definitely very encouraging. It means that while we are not too caught up in the numbers, what we are seeing is that we're moving in the right direction. Give us the confidence that whatever we are doing in the past 12 months are resonating with our users. It's a sign that we are doing things in the right fashion, we're moving in the right direction. And that to us is rewarding and is exciting. So, I wanted to stress once again that at the heart of everything, finance is always about putting our users first. Whether it's launching new products, whether it's refining existing ones to make them better, our goal is to make crypto accessible. Our goal is really to make sure that assets are safe, is reliable, is the go-to platform. And every time there's an episode, we are a safe haven because users trust us. We spend a disproportionate amount to make sure that we keep our users safe, security is sound. And we like to say, keep building, stay focused, and that's exactly what we've done. And reliability and resilience are not just buzzwords for us, they are the foundation of trust. And they're extremely important. We know that users want to feel secure, and it's incredibly rewarding to see so many people keep coming back to Binance even though they have choices elsewhere, because they know that we are doing everything we can to really support them, to make sure their assets are secure, and we take that trust dearly, and we continue to work very hard to earn it every day.
Great start. Thank you there, Richard. And great to see so many of you in the chat as well. Make sure to give Richard a big wave and we'll keep an eye on the comments. Now let's move on to transparency, which is a very big topic of conversation throughout the industry at the moment. And if we hone in on Binance and the market stance that we have, so Binance as an organization, as we can see, it continues to push monthly proof of reserve reports with 100% plus reserve ratios. And that is something that we don't necessarily see across the board as an industry metric. But leading the way here when it comes to Binance and consistent transparency. Why is this so important, and how does it shape user confidence in today's market?
So that's a great question. Transparency has always been a core value for us, especially if I can bring you back to 2020. The crypto industry went through some tough episodes, tough lessons, some big names suddenly collapsed, and it actually shook up the entire ecosystem and the faith of some users, right? Users start to question who could they really trust. And that's why we make a clear promise to our users. The assets they have on Binance have been and will always be fully backed, 100% and beyond. So it has always been that way since day one. It's something that we hold very dearly and it's sacrosanct to Binance. But promises alone are not enough. We want to make sure that we give our users the opportunity to trust, but to validate as well. That's why we pioneer the monthly proof of reserve report using ZK's Nux technology. And this allows the users to independently verify that their funds are safe and sound. It's a way of putting everything out in open and say, hey, this is the data, see it for yourself, validate it for yourself. And we believe that that kind of openness is what built real trust, right? And until today, despite our call out to the marketplace, many exchanges are still not doing this, right? And many regulators that we work with closely ask us, why don't you do it? I said, you have to ask them for yourself because we have been doing it for a long time. We think that this is great in terms of user protection, and there's no reason why the rest are not doing it, right? But we continue to put these style of messages out there because we know that trust should not be taken lightly. It's something that you have to earn every day. By consistently publishing this report without fail, we show that we are serious about accountability. We want to set a high bar, not only for ourselves, but for the industry. And at the end of the day, transparency is not just a checkbox for us. It's about giving our users the peace of mind in a space they can feel that sometimes can feel uncertain for them.
Absolutely. And great point there about transparency in this industry. It is so significant and important. So it's great that Binance is giving users and consumers the tools to do so. And then we really, as users of the platform, have the power and the capabilities to check and verify ourselves. Now, speaking of user focus and user experience, that does go beyond the architecture of the crypto ecosystem. And also now we're going to touch on UX and UI and user experience, because this was quite an exciting month for the organization. So this month we saw Binance launching UI Refined, which was a major redesign of the Pro Mode app homepage with customizable widgets and AI powered insights, and also a cleaner interface. So, Richard, before I turn to you, anyone in the comments that has noticed the new redesign, do let us know how you found it, because I know I've heard some great feedback from people that use the platform. But Richard, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on, let's talk about the redesign. Why was this redesign a priority? And how does it reflect the way that Binance is adapting to the needs of today's users?
Well, it's really great to see so many comments in the live section. I had so much support for us. It's really great. Thank you for everything. So on that front, just let me say a few things, right? We are very excited about the UI redesign because it's a great example of how we continue to listen to our users and continue to put out improvement and evolve with them. Crypto can be complex, and one of the biggest challenge has always been making the experience as seamless, as smooth, and as intuitive as you want them to be, right? Whether you're just starting out in crypto or whether you've been trading for years. So with this redesign, what we wanted to do is to give users much more control over their own experience, right? So through things like customizable widgets, AI powered insights means that you can tailor the platform to what matters most to you. And what matters most to you, to each of you will be quite different, right? Each of you have different preferences, etc., etc. So it's like having a personal assistant that helps you stay on top of the market without feeling overwhelmed. We believe that making the interface cleaner, smarter, we have lowered the barriers to entry and helping more people feel confident in their crypto journey. So this is something we are very passionate about, embracing innovation, but it's always with the user in mind. The user is the center of everything we do, right? So the new design is not just about looking good. It's about making crypto more accessible, more enjoyable. We want Binance to be a place where everyone feels empowered to explore and grow their crypto journey and knowledge. And the redesign is a step in that direction. We're excited to continue to push all these enhancements where possible. So I hope many of you have tried it. If you have not, please do. We'd love to hear our feedback, whether through social media, through our customer support channels, or product feedback page, right? So we are always looking for ways to make Binance better for you. Your inputs on this or on any other matters are extremely important for us, right? How do we make this platform much better to serve your needs better? So do keep all the feedback and comments coming. We really appreciate it.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for those insights, Richard. So we've had a little look on performance of the market in general, transparency and proof of reserves across Binance, and then also user experience with the new feature updates. That is enough from me. No more questions from me, but it's now time to turn to all of you, our community, and it's your chance to ask our CEO some questions. So we've had a great range of questions coming in across Binance Square. I can see some in the comment bot now, so thank you so much for everyone submitting them. So it's now time to hand the floor over to our first speaker of the day. And first of all, before we bring him on, I can see him there, David Tech. For those that are unfamiliar, David is a fantastic content creator. He's got a very successful, active YouTube channel, which I definitely recommend you to check out if you're looking to level up your crypto. And also, he's done some work with us on live trading on Square. So, David, first of all, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. I'm now going to hand the stage over to you to ask your question to Richard. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Jessica. That was a lovely intro. Thank you very much. And hi, Richard. Hi, Karen. How's everybody going?
Hi.
Thank you very much, first of all, for having me on the stage, Richard, and a huge thanks again to the Binance Square team. They've absolutely been brilliant to us. Couldn't wish for nicer people. I have a question about AI. I'm a full-time trader. I trade with bots using AI. AI is changing all the time, but do you think that there is a future for retail traders as AI is becoming more powerful and more accessible? Yeah, I couldn't get that word out. I'd like to have your opinion on AI and whether you think there's a future for us.
Great question. I think you're as well
Thank you.
placed. You're as well placed as myself to answer that question. But because you use AI for trading as well. So, but on my front, I absolutely believe there's a bright future for retail traders, especially as AI become much more powerful and much more accessible to everyone, right? So what excites me is how AI has become a great level field, it can level the playing field quite greatly, right? So in the past, you rely on very sophisticated trading tools and insights that require huge capital outlays, which only big institutions and people with very, very deep pockets have access to, right? But now, the AI-powered tools can really allow everyone, including retail traders, to analyze markets much faster, identify trends, keep much more informed decision in real time. And this democratization of technology means that more people can participate much more confidently and can become much more effective in crypto trading. So we're seeing the benefits, right, of the AI wave right now. For instance, at Binance, we're committed to integrate AI in ways that truly benefit our users, whether it's through AI-driven insights, things like smarter order types, personalized recommendations. Our goal is to empower retail traders with tools to enhance their experience, but not overwhelming them, right? So the future is one where I see AI acts as a very helpful assistant, facilitating human judgment rather than replacing it, so that every trader, regardless of experience, can navigate the markets with much greater confidence and clarity. But all this comes with responsibility as well. We want to make sure that the AI tools are transparent, they're ethical, they're easy to use. But we are very excited with the possibilities and opportunities ahead. And we would like to continue to make sure that we keep track of all this development very closely, listen to our community very closely to build out the best experience possible for our users. I hope that answered your question.
Yes, indeed. Sounds very exciting. Looking forward to it. Thank you very much, Richard. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much. Thanks for joining.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, David, there for the question. I think just to add on there, I think that's why education is so important. So great job to David and the other content creators that are joining us on the stream. Okay, so next question, we're handing it over to Zayed Al-Mahamari, who's had a question. So Dr. Zayed, great to see you on the stream. Thank you so much for joining. I will now hand the floor over to you to ask your question to Richard. Thank you so much.
Hello, Jessica. Hello, Mr. Richard. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Okay.
How are you, Dr. Zayed?
Good. With Binance reporting over 275 million users and continuing global expansion, how do you see the balancing rapid growth while ensuring compliance in light of historic regulatory steps?
No, that's a great question. So we are approaching 280 million users, and we are very privileged and very thankful to our users for their support. But I think there are still many people that assume that focusing on compliance might slow down on growth. But from my own experience, that's not true, right? So in fact, compliance and growth can and should go hand in hand. So compliance is really a great enabler as well in supporting sustainable growth, right? So at Binance, we see compliance as that business enabler, and we intend to make it a competitive advantage for ourselves because we have the ability and we have the financial ability to make all those investments, and which we have made greatly in the past several years. We have invested heavily into building a very robust compliance framework that have helped us secure more than 21 regulatory approval worldwide, and that makes us the most compliant and most regulated global crypto exchange, right? And in terms of compliance function, now we have the biggest compliance staffing within the crypto space, right? So it's clear to everyone within the industry that crypto regulations are here to stay. This industry will become much more regulated and much more compliant going forward. And companies that wish to succeed will be those that understand and embrace this new reality going forward. And the challenge is regulatory expectations are evolving very quickly, not as fast as the crypto market, but they are evolving, especially in important markets such as US, EU, UK, Asia. So to keep pace with that, our compliance program has now really stepped up hugely. We have close to 1,400 people working within the compliance function and mandate, right? And if you think about it, it's substantial investment. You have, close to 6,000 people. So the 1,004 represent close to 25% of our total headcount. It represents our commitment to compliance. And the team has been working tirelessly to make sure that we meet and exceed all the different regulatory standards globally, helping us to earn trust from regulators as well as users alike. And the first 5% of early adopters may not need such clear regulations. But for the mass adoption to come true, more and more of them will require much more clearer rules, will require clear compliance standards, and that include the institutions, right? So in the past year, we have expanded our regulatory footprint to places like Brazil, India, and these are two huge markets with enormous potential for crypto adoption. So our global compliance foundation help us operate responsibly, give our users confidence that we are doing so, and we hold their assets and data safeguarded to the highest standards. And that trust is essential for us to attract both retail and institutional investors, right? And ultimately, I want to stress again, strong compliance is not a barrier to growth. It is actually a catalyst if we do it right. And we'll create a much more safer, much more transparent environment that encourage more people around the world to participate in crypto with confidence. So that's the type of sustainable growth that we want to foster at Binance. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, fantastic news and clarification. Thanks, Mr. Richard.
Thank you. Thanks for joining us.
A big thank you to Dr. Zaid there for that excellent question. Okay, so next up we have Blockchain Baller, who I'm going to hand the floor over to ask a question to Richard. Great handle, by the way. Thank you so much for joining. The floor is yours.
Hey Richard, how are you doing? And nice to meet you.
Hi,
Uh,
great to have you.
Thank you so much, and especially thanks for creating the Binance Square, and especially for us. And I am a creator on Binance Square, and I have a question from my community so that I can ask from you directly.
Great, of course. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
So as institutional interest is increasing in the crypto, like the after especially the Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs, and BlackRock is buying the crypto and other things like crypto, especially the Bitcoin on the daily basis. So how Binance is planning to position itself in 2025 to facilitate large scale institutional participations and especially maintaining the accessibility for retail investors?
Sure. It's a great
Yeah.
question. And it's a key area that we have focused, right, as we move into 2025. So last year has been a landmark year, 2024, right? So if you've been involved in the sector before that, you know for the longest time, institutions have been very skeptical about crypto. The regulators were not regulating this space. But last year, everything started to change, right? So firstly, with the approval of ETF in the United States and then subsequently around different parts of the world. And you mentioned the likes of BlackRock used to be huge skeptics of crypto. Last year, they have started to embrace it, introducing ETF. But it's not only them, right? So the like of Fidelity, Charles Schwab, even JP Morgan. For the longest time, the CEO was a huge crypto skeptic. I think more recently, he said he's going to support their clients in terms of crypto exposure. So it's a sea change. But the truth is at Binance, we understand that all this large-scale institutional participation will come. And we have been preparing for that for some time now. And the numbers show up, right? So in 2024 alone, our VIP user base grew by more than 116%. Our registered institutional users increased by nearly 97%. So these significant increases show that our platform is ready and thriving in supporting institutional investors at scale. And different type of users will have different needs, right? So the same goes for the institutions coming through, the foundations, the trust, the family offices. They have slightly different needs compared to other users. So we do have a dedicated Binance VIP and institution team that reach out to understand the unique needs of this institution and coming up with solutions to really support them, which is why for the institutions side of business, we have unique offerings such as fund accounts. We have things like Binance Wealth, we have banking tripartite arrangement, all designed to provide institutions with tools and flexibility they require. And we constantly innovate to ensure that institutions can participate seamlessly and securely in the crypto system, in the crypto ecosystem, right? So we continue to see very huge, robust interest from institutions. As Larry Finn, who is the largest asset manager, CEO of the largest asset manager, BlackRock in the world, say, in his conversation with sovereign wealth funds, with institutions, is no longer, are you going to allocate into crypto? The question and the discussion he's having now is, are you going to allocate 2% of your portfolio or 5% of your portfolio into crypto? So I think that highlight the significant shift of institution. But at the same time, I just want to emphasize that retail users remain at the heart of everything we do. We continue to offer what our community loves, which is low transaction fee, the deepest liquidity, which means there's minimum slippage. You get a narrowest beta spread, which result in substantial cost savings through time as you continue to trade on our platform. We offer you a wide range of products. When we continue to innovate, as you can see, through all the different products enhancement, all the new product features we have rolled in the course of last year and this year. And we are very responsive in terms of customer support. And the growth of institutional participation actually benefits retail users as well by bringing more capital into the marketplace. And these people have different timeline, different duration, they have different trading patterns. It helped to mature the ecosystem overall, and it create much more opportunities and better experience for everyone. So overall, we are very excited with the momentum we are seeing. We see very strong drivers, we see very strong opportunities. And whether you're a retail trader or the institutional investors, we at Binance are committed to provide a secure, accessible, and innovative platform that meets your needs going into the future. I hope that gives you a bit more insight.
Yeah, and especially I'm glad to like see that how Binance is working in all domains to like help us and to help to promote the crypto and to help us to achieve the big targets. And I would especially take a time to thanks for the Binance Care. Like Binance Care has connected us with the right traders and everything. So thank you so much for joining me and having me.
Thank you. Thanks for joining us today and continue to create nice and useful contents.
Thank you. Okay, time for the next question. So next we're going to bring to the stage, we have Crypto Revolution Masters, who has a question for you, Richard. So let's just see if we can bring him on or her onto the stream. Okay, do we have our next speaker joining us on the stream? Let's take a look.
We can read out the question for Crypto Revolution Masters. I think we're able to join.
Okay, super. So we have from Crypto Revolution Masters, the question for you, Richard, is how is Binance preparing for a world where crypto and AI intersect more deeply? Very good question.
Yeah, it is a question that I hear very often, right? Whether it's at our board meeting, whether it's meeting with fellow corporate leaders, whether it's internal discussion. So at different events, at different business meetings, or just casual conversation at forums that I attend, AI has become the top of mind for many people and for a good reason, right? So, and on our front, the intersection of AI and crypto is one of the most exciting frontiers we're going to explore. You might have seen our recent launch of Binance UI Redefined, which integrates AI directly into the app experience. And that's just one example of how we are preparing a future where crypto and AI work hand in hand, right? But it's far from the only one. Our team internally actually have been exploring and trying to embed AI into many different parts of our operations for some time now. So here are some other way that we are exploring. As for example, AI can help us keep users safe through things like smarter chatbots, through fraud detection in Know Your Customer program, P2P trading, real-time risk monitoring to catch suspicious activity very quickly. It can streamline customer support, helping users get the answer much faster. On the trading side, the AI-driven bots and predictive analytics can empower users to optimize their trading strategy and spot emerging trends, right? So at Binance, we continue to anticipate what's going to come and how AI and crypto will intersect, which are the two most fastest growing industry of our time, the two where the most brilliant minds are working and spending time on. And we are excited to try to integrate these two technology to build a better, a safer, much more user-friendly environment and platform for everyone. So it's something that across the different teams in Binance, something that we stress. We want to incorporate AI into all the different aspects of our work to make it much more effective, much more targeted and efficient, right? So we're going to spend a lot of time on this one.
Fantastic. Thank you, Richard. Okay, so next to the stream we have Crypto Mechanic, I believe. Thank you for joining on the stream. I will now hand the stage over to you to ask your question.
Hey Jessica, thank you for having me here. Hello Richard, how are you doing, sir?
I'm good. How have you been?
Thank you. I'm good. Thank you for asking. Okay, my question is, Binance is still the top crypto exchange, even with so many rules and pressure from different countries. And big shout out to you and Binance team for keep pushing and keep building. So, what are the main things that help Binance stay strong during these tough times?
Well, it's a great question. So Binance is going to celebrate its 8-year anniversary, and we have stayed almost as a top exchange for almost the entire length of time. So it is, I can assure you, firstly, it's not easy, but honestly, the secret sauce has been simple and powerful. It is all of you. Why do I say it's all of you? It's because we always put users at the center of everything we do. So we want to make sure that we satisfy what you want and we give you the best platform out there be it in terms of the tokens you can trade, the innovation you see, the security, etc., etc. So from day one, being user-focused has been our guiding philosophy. And I believe that that's what keep Binance strong, resilient, keep the team committed together, no matter what the challenges are. And I can assure you that in the course of the 8 years, Binance have gone through so many challenges. But it's this fundamental belief that continue to pull the teams together and drive it forward, right? But the reality is this: crypto is still very young. It is an emerging industry compared to traditional banks that have been around for centuries. Crypto is a baby, and like any new industry that disrupt the status quo and bring about change, the path is not easy. The rules, frameworks, and standards are still being written, and pioneers like you and us have to continue to shape them. It's a bit like the early days of internet in the 1990s, right? So there's a lot of uncertainty, but also huge opportunity. Through it all, we continue to keep our heads down. We continue to stay focused, keep building. And our core mission, which is something that we firmly believe and drive forward, is to spread financial freedom globally. And that keeps us motivated. So it has been a journey, it's an incredible journey. And we are very grateful to have such a passionate and supportive community walking alongside us every step of the way. We are fortunate to have been backed by an outstanding team of founding members and board whose vision set Binance the way it is today. And the DNA is what set us apart. And those DNA values, mission statements are really set by the founding teams, right? And carry on until today. We have a talented, dedicated group of people across the leadership team, across the different departments that continue to drive this path forward. And having the right people in the right place, driving the right outcome is something that continues to propel us going forward to serve you to the best of our ability. So all of those different parts work, but you are the center of it all.
Excellent answer there, and a huge thank you to Crypto for the excellent question. And we've just hit 80,000 of you that are listening in live. So a huge thank you to everyone that is listening in. We can see you all in the chat, and it is lovely to see. Next up, time for another question. And for this question, I'm going to hand the stage over to TradeCoin VN to see what they have for Richard. Thank you for joining us on the stream. I want to hand the floor over to you now.
Hello everyone. Hi Jessica, Karen, and Mr. Richard.
Hey, how are you?
Yeah, I'm great. First, I would like to thank Binance Square for inviting me to join and share on the AMA today. My question for Mr. Richard today is, today we have a lot of narratives out there, but the AI coin and meme coin still attract the most money flow. So how do you see the pro potential of alcohol in this cycle, and also in 3 or 2 years? Which sector in the crypto you believe will lead in the coming years except Bitcoin?
Okay, that's a question I do get from time to time, right? Historically, I mean, you look at historical trends, altcoin seasons tend to follow strong Bitcoin rally, right? So when Bitcoin reaches a new all-time high, enter into consolidation or pullback phase, capital often rotates into altcoins as traders seek higher potential return. And this has played out in previous cycle where altcoin gain momentum once Bitcoin price stabilizes. But this cycle feels a bit different. I think it feels a bit different for several reasons. First, we have seen an unprecedented proliferation of crypto tokens. So nearly a tenfold increase in unique tokens across the major blockchains over the past 3 years. So while you see those rotation flowing into altcoins, it's spread among a much larger and much more diverse set of projects. So the oversaturation means that the rising tide floats all boat effect that we see in earlier bull run is much less pronounced this time around, right? So that's what we have seen. There are different sectors that you're talking about. You know, we have seen meme coins, AI related projects, certainly attracting a lot of attention and capital. Meme coins have shown the ability to generate short-term excitement, but their impact on Bitcoin dominance, not much. Right? AI, while hot topic globally, has not made as huge a practical impact on the crypto sector so far, and something that we are working on. Right. So the current market first remains still largely macroeconomic driven, policy driven. Institution has been a big force, which highlighted, the institutions normally when they first come in, they always go after Bitcoin first, right? And that's why Bitcoin has been extremely resilient if you look at the price action. And all these different regulatory developments as well as institutional development favor Bitcoin. But looking forward, I am not a price predictor. I can't predict the market, but I believe that altcoins that continue to build, continue to be significant catalysts, good utility, good engagement, we'll see sustained interest, right? So innovations in areas such as DeFi, layer 2 scaling, new paradigms could spark the next major altcoin cycle. So at Binance, we continue to watch all these trends very closely. We are very committed to support new innovation projects that bring real value and utility to users. And it's always all these projects that bring real value utility that last more than one cycle. Right? So ultimately, our focus is to continue to empower our community with access to diverse opportunities while helping them to navigate this landscape safely and confidently. That's my point of view. You may have a different viewpoint, but I just want to share what we see.
Excellent. Thank you. And thank you to Tradecoin VN for the question. Okay, so some fantastic questions so far. A huge thank you to everyone that has submitted. It is not yet over. We do have some more to go through. Next up, we have Bokata BB, who has a question for Richard. So a big thank you to Bokata to join the stream. And what question do you have for Richard? Okay, it seems that Bogota might have some issues connecting. So I will ask the question on their behalf. So the question is, a lot of people hear that crypto is supposed to bring freedom, but instead they're experiencing losses, scams, or confusions. How are you and how is Binance working to make crypto safer and more helpful for everyday people?
Well, that's a very important question, right? So thanks for bringing this up. Safety within crypto space is something that some people worry about, especially those that are new to crypto, and many are still skeptical. But I want to say a few things, right? Firstly, it's not restricted to crypto, right? Scams are happening in everyday world. I'm sure all of you will have received calls. Many of you know I'm from Singapore, and I saw a recent Financial Times article terming Singapore as going through a scamdemic because more than 1 billion has been scammed in Singapore in 2024. Why is that the case? Probably people are much more affluent and people are very respectful of authority. So when people are saying that they are from authority, call them, they are very susceptible to scams, right? So I just want to say that it's not only within the crypto industry, it's happening in everyday life. So all of us has to be on high alert. But for the crypto industry, it's something that we spend a lot of time and energy to make it as safe as for users as possible. You have heard about our 1 billion SAFU emergency fund, our monthly pool of reserve, and that shows our commitment to transparency and security. But I want to highlight two other key areas that may not be talked about as often, which is our industry-leading security and risk management infrastructure, as well as our collaboration with external partners, right? So creating a safe blockchain ecosystem is a top priority for us at Binance. In fact, we have a 9-level anti-scam control framework that protects users from evolving threats by alerting them when their assets might be at risk. And this system has helped many of our users globally avoid scams and fraud. But security is not something that just one company can do, and not just our platform alone can do, right? A lot of times we also highlight through many of the information that we push out to users, how to safeguard your own mobile devices, how to safeguard your devices, how to have 2FA, how to have proper control, etc., etc. We have put out a lot of those information. So other than platform level security, user level security are extremely important as well. So that's one layer one level we're talking about. But goes beyond that. We work very closely over and top that with law enforcement agencies globally, with industry groups, with other crypto companies to fight scams, to fight cyber crimes, right? So recently we worked with the US and Taiwan law enforcement agencies to take down a notorious darknet narcotics marketplace called Incognito Market. That's one example. And we have worked on many of these examples, and this year we've gotten recognition letter from many different police force, including from Singapore, Hong Kong, Indonesia, Thailand, for our efforts in working with them to fight all these illicit crimes globally. So effective security takes collaborative effort. We are committed to do our part to make crypto safer, much more accessible on that front.
Super. Thank you, Richard. And next question we have one of the Binance Live content creators. We have Moonlight here to ask a question. So let's see if we can bring Moonlight to the stage. Moonlight, thank you for joining. I will hand the stage over to you for your question for Richard. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And GM Richard, Jessica, Karen, and Binance Square community. It's nice to meet you all.
Hi, Moonlight. How are you?
Thank you. Well, I'm doing awesome. Actually, I have a fun question because I've been streaming on Binance Live daily for the past 3 years, and I've seen our Binance community members use all kinds of methods to guide their trading decisions like crypto feng shui or super fortune. So some keep up with the news to spot macro trends, and others, like previously Richard also mentioned, using AI tools or AI agents for advice, and some even turn to astrology or other metaphysical tools. So I wanted to ask Richard, have you ever tried using some interesting tools like AI or more mystical tools to guide your crypto trades? And if not, would you be open to exploring different tools to help you decide which token to trade? Thank you.
Oh, thanks for that fun question. So first of all, huge respect for streaming on Binance Live every day for the last 3 years. That's real dedication, and thank you for being such an active part of the community from the early days of Binance Live, right? This is not financial advice, but personally, I like to keep my trading style simple, right? I'm a hodler. So be it crypto or even other asset class, I tend to take a very long-term view of things. I tend to look at things like what are the key drivers, what are the growth trajectories, right? What's the long-term position? Because I'm extremely lousy trader. When I try to trade on a short-term basis, I always lose money. I'm not good at that. So I tend to keep mine simple, take a long-term view, buy and hold, right? But so if you look at the trajectory of digital assets over the past decades, despite all the up and down, the overall trend has been positive and huge positive upwards, right? So if you look at even in the last 2 years, 2024 to now, across different asset class, Bitcoin is the best performing asset class. If you look at across things like gold, people said, gold is a great asset class. I'm not disputing that, but Bitcoin has outstripped the performance of gold, S&P 500, NASDAQ, etc., etc. So if you look at it over the long term, digital assets has performed very, very well, and that's my conviction. So I remain convinced in terms of those long-term view, right? I'm interested in different form of AI. I mean, I'm a Chinese, and I believe in things like 八字, right? So I mean, now even the 八字 people are using AI to predict, what's your fortune in the next year, in the next 10 years, etc. I'm not quite sure whether how those are accurate, but do your own research, right? But I think AI will transform every aspect of our work and our life going forward. All the kids are now using AIs to finish their schoolwork. I think now schoolwork is a breeze for most of the younger children, unlike our time. But there's so much opportunity and so much things to do on that space. So keep experimenting and keep having fun.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Richard. And just a small suggestion, I do hope that Binance Square could show our emojis because I so wanted to clap hands while you were speaking.
All right. Let's work on that.
Fantastic. Great answer. And Moonlight, great question. I've given you a follow. Thank you so much for that and for the creativity of the question there. Okay, so next question that we have BitGuru, who we will hopefully bring to the stage. Let's see if we can bring on. BitGuru, thank you so much for joining us. I will hand the floor over to you to ask a question to Richard.
Hi, Richard Tang.
Hi.
So first of all, I would like to thank Binance for giving us a lot of opportunities and safe and number one exchange. So my question is that as a decentralized finance, DeFi is a hot topic nowadays. And how do you see the role of centralized exchange evolving in a future, increasingly learning toward DeFi? And how is Binance adapting to that shift?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So as you can see, DeFi is gaining significant traction, right? To me, there's a
Yeah.
positive development for the entire crypto ecosystem. So the TVL in DeFi continues to grow year on year, reflecting increasing adoption, increasing innovation. We welcome this type of innovation because it expands the possibility for the users and industry as a whole, right? We need to recognize that CeFi and DeFi are not opposing forces. CeFi is not against DeFi, and neither should DeFi be against anybody. They represents different options. They represents different strength. Each have its strength and also drawbacks in some of the areas. So when you form projects or initiatives, there's always a certain level of centralization, even within the decentralization space, right? So centralized exchange will continue to play a vital role, especially because DeFi in its current form is not that accessible, is not a complete solution for many things. For many crypto natives and more experienced users, they may navigate towards DeFi, but many people still prefer the convenient, security, user-friendly interface that centralized platform provide, right? So that's why I said different platforms have different strength. At Binance, we are looking at all this evolving landscape with interest. We want to build bridges between CeFi and DeFi and become a CDeFi, for instance, right? So if you look at the launch of Binance Wallet, Binance Alpha, they offer users a seamless entry point into Web3 DeFi, allowing them to explore decentralized finance while still benefiting from the ease of use support that centralized platform offer. And we see this being a crucial bridge between, the traditional finance, what we call TradeFi and DeFi, facilitating a flow of assets and users between these two worlds, right? So ultimately, both this ecosystem will continue to grow. They will continue to complement each other as the crypto industry continue to really drive forward and fill the gaps in each other's services, right? So it's not about competition, but collaboration is about trying to continue to grow a very vibrant industry together. So we are committed to evolving alongside these trends to continue to support innovation to our users and provide our users with the best tools and opportunities they need to succeed in this space.
Yeah, thank you. That's mean a lot for me. Thank you very much.
Excellent. Thank you. So it's time for our last question. I know that we are wrapping up as well for the day. A huge thank you to everyone that has joined and submitted the questions so far. So Richard, time for one last question. And this is from Crypto UDDUA. And this is a lovely one. They are asking, Richard, what sport or activity do you do to relieve stress after a busy day in the crypto industry? And then in brackets, they've put, I'm curious how you balance the stress of work with your personal recovery. Very good question. I'm curious to hear too for some hints and tips.
Oh, great. So I try to put in some time for exercise every day, some time to read every day. I do watch Netflix or movies during my downtime and listen to music as well, right? Unfortunately, I've been getting injured a lot more nowadays. I mean, I try to do different things, right? Try to do a bit of weightlifting, try to do some cardio, try to do some fit. But today I seen a doctor. I have rotator cuff tear, so I need to get that repaired. Last year I got a shoulder blade tear, so it seems like old age is causing me to injure myself much more often, so I need to watch that. I'm trying to pick up yoga again. I used to practice yoga, and I noticed recently I'm very stiff, So that's something I'm trying to get back into practice again. So I try to mix it up when I'm free, right, to de-stress. So, but I recommend exercise is a great way to de-stress. I recommend music. I recommend books. I mean, all those are great, depending on what you want. But all those are great for me. And then catching up with friends, families, for a good meal, for a good laugh from time to time, works very well.
Excellent. Some great advice for us all there. And in true crypto terms, we should always try and go outside, get some fresh air, touch some grass, all of that fun. Richard, thank you so much for joining us today and for sharing some of the updates from another CEO Connect. And a huge thank you to the community for listening in. Is there any final words from you, Richard, for the community today?
Absolutely. So with our 8-year anniversary coming up, there's so much to think about and so much to be thankful of. This is a huge, huge celebratory moment for all of us at Binance. This incredible 8 years full of challenges, full of growth and milestone. So I want to extend my deepest gratitude to all our users, more than 277 million now. So we're reaching 280 million soon, right? And I feel extremely privileged to be standing on the shoulders of industry giants. Our founder, CZ, He, and be supported by incredibly talented and dedicated team, right? Nothing like what we have achieved will be possible without their vision, their energy very early on. They have gone through so much challenges in 8 years. I only joined 4 years. So the first 4 years, I heard the war stories. And He always tell me that she doesn't watch movies anymore because those early years are much more exciting than any movies that she can watch, right? But the numbers speak for themselves. We have the trust of and confidence of users. But beyond that, we continue to be humble. We try to learn. We try to adapt. We try to know our users much better and give our users what they need in terms of product enhancement and new product innovation. And we would like to continue to build on this strong organization culture, DNA mission, to make sure the organization lasts not another decade, but next 50, 100 years and continue to prosper beyond. The company is not just about crypto. It's about what crypto makes possible. And our story is continue to unfold. Each and every one of this community plays a very important part in shaping what's going to come next. So we're going to have a lot of exciting plans and fun initiatives lined up for the Binance community worldwide as part of our 8-year anniversary celebration. Do join us, depending on where you are in the world. It's our way of showing our deepest gratitude, and I hope that you will continue to support us, to be on our side for many, many more years to come. So thank you from the bottom of our heart to each and every one of you.
Thank you so much, Richard, there for those final words. So that is it for this June 2025 CEO Connect. A huge thank you to everyone that has tuned in. We really appreciate you all taking the time to listen, to engage, to comment. We see all of the comments. Do keep them coming. And that's all for today, but we will make sure to see you in the next one. So thank you all so much for the time today.
Thanks, everyone. Keep building.